All right, I think I am streaming. Uh, I want to check, to be honest with you. I don't see my face on here. We'll see here in a second if I'm streaming. But I don't know, I'm streaming because we're gonna start a new series, finding the next NBA star. So I've been I've been looking at things, and when I say things, looking at stats and statistics of different players. So what I want to do is take you through my journey and let's see if I can identify the next player that might be a star in NBA. So somebody like a Jalen Brunson, who was on Dallas. And I like looking at Synergy. I don't have the full Synergy thing account, but what I do have, I'm able to take a look at certain statistics and break it down. So, and there's a few things I noticed, but I like to take it through and just show you what I look at to help understand that. Okay, so somebody like Jalen Brunson, let's go back. Let's go to his last year in Dallas, 2021-2022 season. So I noticed the points per possession rating, very good. He shot 50% from the field goal, and of course he's not taking up any shots because he has Luka on his team. But somebody like this, and you try to look at the possessions per game. So he's still taking about 12, almost over 12 and a half possessions a game, field goal attempts rather. 16 points a game. So I wouldn't the points per game, not necessarily too worried about it because when we break it, I'm gonna break Jalen Brunson down a little bit further and we'll be able to look at it even more. But you're able to get an idea. So let's. I've noticed when coming over here to play types, it's very telling, and we'll break it down a little bit further here in a second. But pick and roll ball handler, it seems, especially for your guards, I'm not sure how we would look at our centers. It might be tougher. I'm going to look at somebody like Wimby, who's young, to see what his stats look like. But he's 7'5" also. I need to think of a young guy that wasn't a star but became a star. That's a big guy. But as far as the guards, somebody like Jalen Brunson, that's what I've noticed. All the guys that tend to be really good are really good in the pick and roll, or they're good in ISO, but usually they're good in both aspects of the game. So again, I'm using Synergy. I like using their site, but you can also break down this information. What I've noticed, a lot of guards, they do high pick and roll. So out of his 393 possessions, 300 of them have been high pick and roll, 76%. And actually, I never even thought about going to possessions per game. So, and actually in Dallas, it's out of 5 possessions per game. He run pick and roll because obviously Luka will be running the pick and roll, and in ISO very good. So basically, the ball handling, being able to create for yourself and being able to create out the pick and roll because that's a lot of times when you're handling the ball. It's nice to be able to spot up as well, which we see Jalen Brunson does well as also. You got to make sure this is on the regular season. And honestly, when I look at all this other stuff, it's nice, but it doesn't seem to necessarily translate into a potential star player when I look at other players. Pick and roll seems to be the highest correlation, and the thing is, a lot of your possessions need to be in the pick and roll. You can't have like 50 possessions in the pick and roll, even when you're not playing that much. You need a lot of possessions in the pick and roll, and then you need to be good at isolation as well when we're looking at these guys. Coming over here to shot type, it always helps to see guarded that excellent. Seems like 38% is good. 38% is good when unguarded. Usually I scroll over because I just want to see what they shot from three. But you can also see turnover percentage. Yeah, I was like catch and shoot. You really shouldn't be turning the ball over that often. But you can see even here, all his field goal attempts, he shot 37% from three. When he was guarded, he shot 39, unguarded 38. And it's crazy. You'll see that a lot with the NBA players. A lot of them shoot better guarded than unguarded. It's it's actually pretty funny. But yeah, early jumper, and like in his career, and what we're going to do, we're going to compare Jalen Brunson to what he was in the past to what he is now. So, and this is last season in Dallas, and I want to take us through earlier seasons too. I've noticed it doesn't. I have to go back. I'm gonna have to, as we go through this series, we'll continue to look. But what I've noticed is that you'll have players that are good at the rim, some of them that aren't, and then some seasons they aren't, and you'll look and the dunks. You'll notice, you'll notice as we go through with dunks. If you're 80% at dunks, I think it'll knock it down to poor or average. So basically, you have to be 90 at the dunk when you're dunking the ball. And layups, you have to be above 50, 50 something plus. But as we go here, the dribble jumper is good because you see it's out of all no 400 possessions was his triple jumper, shot 45%. Now I can't tell this fact. Well, I guess I can. It's the first episode. Depends if you watch the channel. With Synergy, and hopefully they don't change it on me, but it doesn't even matter if they do. With Synergy, I cannot click on here and do this because I don't have account access to do it. I wish I did. But I don't even know if they say it because if they knock it out, then I'm gonna be upset. But I have this website. This is what I am gonna say because why tell them myself when I don't need to? I have this website I can go to. It's called thehighlow.io. Let's type in Jalen Brunson. I probably should have already had him up here since I already knew I was gonna be talking about him. Oh, that's what I meant. I can come up here, type in Brunson. Boom. I can go, we'll be looking at the 21-22 season. 21-22 season. We can look at Jalen. We can do all highlights if we want. And it says I'm missing a query. Oh, because I have it on game. I'm sorry. Guys, bear with me. It's the rough draft of the first episode. We'll be better by the 10th episode. But, okay, so we can come over here to player, unassisted, 2-point miss. Okay, let's just click it so we can have him playing in the background. I think it's about to full screen it on me. So you can see, wait, this is the Knicks again. Well, that's fine. But first thing you see, pick and roll. Clearly the pick and roll, the first thing you see. So, yeah. And he just basically denies the pick and roll. But as you see, a lot of the better players seem to be good in the pick and roll. Let me go back up here to menu. I must have the wrong season up. Yeah, I do. But what I want, and that's why I'm mad about Synergy, because there is a way to do it, obviously. And if you watch the channel, you can see that I do it quite easily. But yeah, I don't want to say it because then they might take it off. Then I'm gonna be really upset. So I'm not going to say it because it makes no sense telling myself for no reason. But the high low, it's good. I know I can go to NBAadvancedstats.com if I want to, but I don't feel like it. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, I can't go into pick and roll. I don't think anyway. If somebody actually uses this site, let me know. Do I have anybody on stream? Not at the moment, but we will get there because we're gonna start pumping out these episodes. Right now, this seems to be the Jalen Brunson episode, finding the top players. But all right, let's go back here. So I'll notice when you're looking at play types, especially for these top guys, pick and roll ball handler, excellent, isolation, excellent. Let's go to the year before. Pick and roll ball handler, excellent. Isolation, very good. He didn't even isolate that often. Ball probably wasn't even in his hands that often. But you'll notice a trend with these top guys. And when I say you notice a trend, let's go to somebody like Luka. Just to give you an idea of his play style. So when you look at the play type, pick and roll, excellent. Isolation, very good. It's a telling stat, especially when you start looking. And it seems like every guard is high pick and roll. So there's no point. It doesn't seem like there's a point to go right or left on the pick and roll because I'm assuming because of just getting trapped and whatnot. But and then on isolation, most of the time it's at the top as well. Sometimes, but you do have some variances on that. But most of the time it is at the top. But and that's exhibitions. Let's just do regular season. Yeah, still excellent, very good. Somebody else, just to show another good offensive player, Kyrie Irving. Let's go to his Dallas season right here. All possessions, he's excellent. True shooting actually is 60% this year. Actually insane when you actually think about it. 49. What did he shoot from three this year? 41 from three. Do we have his free throw percentage up here? We see percent free throws he took. Oh, I'm pretty sure what I can do. I can come. I wish this thing would stay at the regular season. I can come over here to shot types, and I should have free throw. I think. I could be wrong, and I am. That's fine. But going to Kyrie, pick and roll ball handler, very good. Isolation, very good. It's a very telling sign. And you see, the pick and roll ball handler is what they do most of their possessions out of. And the better offensive ball handlers, high pick and roll. You'll start to notice a very common trend when looking at certain players. So let's go back to Jalen, and I'm doing the Dallas season in particular because this is when he became that star in the playoffs. I want to say it was the year before, but you knew when people were doubting if they knew he could be that type of player, then you can really find you can really find these next guys and see, because I think I have a guy in mind, but I don't know if he has enough possessions. So okay, we come over here to play type, isolate, cool. All right, good. Box score. Let me see. I wonder see if it goes only on Jalen. Yeah, I can. And then we'll knock this over here to points per game. So 16 points a game. Turnover percentage. Honestly, I don't know if that's high or not. But I have a nice other site called Cleaning the Glass that I like to use that I found here recently. Let's go over here to Jalen Brunson. And I was looking at Tyrese. Tyrese is another one, good in the pick and roll. I'm not sure if Tyrese is good in isolation, but he's definitely good in pick and roll. But when you come over here to Dallas, what we was looking at is 21-22 season. They have him as a combo guard. His usage, 75%. You can click on it. It'll tell you where that is in comparison to other guards or other combo guards in his position. Points per shot attempt, 117. Skylar Mays. I haven't seen that name in a minute. I am an Atlanta fan, by the way. You can see in Dallas, he was 92 there. This is low here. Turnover percentage 8%. Okay, so that means 10% must be actually pretty, not too bad. Okay, but I use this. You can look at salaries on Clean the Glass. You can break down players a little bit more because I'm looking at offensive. But if I want to just do shooting overall, I can actually look at it. What is this? Assist on mid range shots? Yeah. But going back here. So now now that we've discovered Jalen Brunson is one of the guys that took the leap. He took the leap last year and then even like increased on it this year. So we need to find the next guy. And what I've been trying to do is you have to come over to leaderboards. Now, again, with Synergy, I am limited. So I can't even look at everything I want. But I can come over here to pick and roll ball handler. Minimum possessions. Was it 5 per game that let's go 5. Let's go 5 a game. Okay. And then, so we have 52 players here. And you'll start to see a common theme. Terry Rozier is actually pretty surprising to me right here. I'm about to actually go and look at some of his numbers right quick. But you have Shea, you have Devin Booker, you have Luka, you have DeMar DeRozan. Austin Reeves is another guy who I've been pretty high on. So I wonder if he actually got his own team. because I want y'all to take a look at some numbers. Tyrese is on there too. All right, let's just do the top 10. So T.J. McConnell. T.J. McConnell was surprising, but T.J. McConnell isn't good in isolation, and I'll show you that. If I remember right, he wasn't good in isolation. And then you have Damian Lillard, or he didn't do it enough. So let's take what it took 4 players. All right, let's start with Terry Rozier. So another thing I noticed, they need to be good at the point. They need to either be very good, or they need to be. I don't know. I can't say that because I want to. When I looked at Anthony Edwards, I want to say is only good at this point possession, but and Anthony Edwards, I want to say is not even necessarily good at the pick and roll. Is either he wasn't good at pick and roll or isolation, according to like the metrics, which was surprising. But then this last series, I don't know. Against the Mavericks, that was tough. But okay, let's go. Let's go to play types. So his pick and roll was excellent. His isolation actually was very good in 30, and this was 30 games with Charlotte. But let's look at the year before. And this is part of the problem because then the year before he was average, isolation average. Because you need it kind of consistent. Let's look the year before that. Pick and roll, he was good. Isolation, he was very good, but he doesn't isolate enough. Was still Charlotte? How many games did he play this year? He had enough possessions. 1,300 possessions, enough. Definitely enough possessions. So, and Terry Rozier is already old enough. We kind of already know what he is. He's a good scorer, not a great scorer. Yeah, looks like he actually is pretty decent in isolation. He just needs to isolate more. What did he do with Miami? Actually, I'm interested to see because my only problem with Terry Rozier was that he shot earlier in his career. He shot in the 30 percentile. When I'm looking at like his field goal percentage was in the 30s. That was my problem with him in the beginning. And let's go offensive shooting. With Boston, I don't want effective field goal. I just want field goal. I can't just look up field goal. Okay, that's fine. 2 point. Yeah, 40%. Yeah, from 2.42 was in the 8 percentile. Yeah, but once he got that up, I believe he became a better player. But that was my problem. That was my problem with Terry Rozier earlier in his career. But where is the actual? I want to look at actual stats, but yeah, it doesn't matter. I know I can filter. Yeah, and all these different sites. It's interesting. Okay, but then yeah, with Miami, and he might have had more possessions with Miami. But all right, let's come over here to play types. Very good in the pick and roll. Good isolation. Excellent again. So maybe Terry Rozier is better than what I'm thinking he was. How old is Terry Rozier? He's 30. Making 26. Oh no, making 23, 24, 26. Nice. What's his actual stats? I don't want to see. I don't want to see shot chart. I want to see what he averaged per game. And this should not be that hard. All right. Let me come back here. What did he average? All right, 4 points off of that. He averaged 16 points in Miami. He must have had high turnover percentage because usually that's less than. What did he not do well? Because this should not be just average. Does he not get assists? Because what's he doing in the pick and roll and isolating that? Because he's shooting 37 from 3. And true shooting attempts 15 because they based the free throws in there as well. Effective field goal percentage 49, not the best. This would definitely debunk my star thing. I know that much. Yeah, because he's definitely getting in. He's definitely getting the pick and roll. Definitely isolating. Huh. Let's take a look at somebody else because that might just messed up my whole theory right there. All right, let's go to Austin Reeves real quick. So Austin Reeves, very good. We have very good in points per possession. Like that. What do you average? 15 this year? 15.8. No, it's probably more than that. 15.6. Okay, that's fine. 15.6 points per game. Shot 48%. And the crazy thing is, he was, I don't know if people remember, he was terrible in the beginning of the year. So for him to get that up that high is actually pretty good. Play type, and this is why I liked Austin last year, maybe not necessarily this year, but in the pick and roll, Austin was excellent. And I do remember him in the pick and roll because he definitely puts defenders on his hip, and he does that quite well. And he's good in spot up. The year before, what I'm about to show is how I know he was a really good when he was really good because was it last year when I was looking this up? So isolation he was good, spot up he was good, pick and roll he was good, and or excellent rather. Yeah, all these he was excellent in. So the isolation might be his that might be his problem then, as far as just the star status, because he's definitely good in the pick and roll. That's 2 years in a row. Let's look at 2021 when he really didn't play for real. He still was very good in the pick and roll with limited possessions. Isolation, he was excellent. So somebody like Austin Reeves, I would look, and I doubt the Lakers trade him, but if they ever did put him on the market, that's somebody I would try to go after for the potential of him being a 20 plus per game score, because he operates out the pick and roll really well. And going off on a tangent, now I need this. I want to see something. What did Gilbert Arenas do well? I want to see what year would he have been an all 07, 08. When was he on the cover? Was it 06? Let's see. Okay, all possessions, excellent here. Let me go regular season. Excellent. Okay, so this should have been a good year for him. What do you average? He averaged 28 this year. So yeah, that's definitely a good year. All right, what was his play types? Isolation, excellent. Pick and roll, excellent. Yeah, it's kind of telling to see guys like this, but somebody like Gilbert, right? Let's take a look. Let's see how far. We can't go as back. We can't go as far back as we want. Ah, because still isolation excellent, pick and roll excellent. That's it's like certain things they pop off to let you know who your star players are, and if even if they're doing it in a limited fashion, then you can find the next guy quite easy, and that's how you can find somebody like a Jalen Brunson to be your lead guard, and you know he's going to be able to take over. Um, but I wish I could see Gilbert on if they had the stats with Gilbert on the Warriors. I don't think they have it. Man, I wish they had it. Okay, that's fine. Because I would like to see what his early days were and how he performed there. All right, let's go back to Austin now. Let's go back to Austin Reeves. Okay, so shot types. I just look at this just to basically confirm what I'm seeing. Um, Guarded shot 33%, average 38%. Unguarded rather. Dribble jumper very good at 42%. Seems like dribble jumper. You need to be pretty good at that. Early jumper, it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem like it matters if you're good or not. But if you look at this on his layups and dunks, not really worried about it with Austin, but his layups, he's actually excellent at it. So, and you want your lead guys that handle the ball, especially in pick and roll or in ISO, you want them to be good at that aspect of the game. So, yeah, no, with Austin, I think he'll be a guy if he was ever to be put in a trade. Let's just say like the Lakers wanted Trey Young, I would definitely make them give us Austin because I feel like he would be a very good player. Because was Austin like 6'4", 6'5"? Um, I don't know if you want him to handle the ball all the time, but it seems like he has good enough ball handling to do that. But he could be a one of those surprise players that you know come out of nowhere and average you 22, 24 a game because he has the ball in his hand more. I'm saying when you're playing with LeBron, that's tough to do. AD, I would say he can't really dribble the ball up and down the court. You know, you give him his touches, but he's not affecting how many shots Austin's getting a game for real. Okay. Yeah, so somebody like Austin Reeves, yeah, that's why I like using yeah, because I should be able to do pick and roll. This should be easy. 2 point make unassisted. Let's just do that. No, I don't want a full screen video either. Oh, actually, put Jalen Brunson down here. Yeah, it's just a good sturdy player, man. That's all. Like, what else could you want when you're like looking at just a just a good, just good, man. That's all I can say about him. He's just good. All right, let's look at Tyrese because I just wanted to take a look because Tyrese, when he came over from the Kings, it seemed like he broke out. Of course, he had the ball more. De'Aaron Fox. Talking about De'Aaron Fox, I want to look at De'Aaron Fox too, just to see. But this year, good in all his possessions. Very good rather. Kind of crazy because he kind of tailed off near the end of the year. Average almost 20. Play type. Notice You'll notice something. A similar trend. Excellent, as we saw. Very good in ISO, but excellent. Tyrese, if I had to take a guess, average like 10 plus assists. Shot types. Very good here. Let's see, his jump shot 39%. Catch and shoot, very good. Unguarded, very good unguarded, rather. Yeah, 46%. Somebody like KD, you'll notice that like KD is very high on like all of these when you look at him. But you'll start to see a trend with these, especially when we're looking for the next guy. And we're gonna go back and look here in a second. Somebody like TJ, right? So his point per possession. This is what I noticed for guys like him. I thought it was actually good instead of average. So their points per possession rating will be average, but they'll be good at a particular skill, like the pick and roll. His isolation is good, but his pick and roll is where he's really he's really good at it. And again, you'll see high pick and roll, but I don't know. So I wonder if that means I can't be Rick Carlisle offense. Let me see, because Rick Carlisle got there what, a year or two ago. All right, let me take that off. See, he was good in the pickup. This is what I look at just to confirm. I want to see it either very good or excellent, at least 2 years in a row. But sometimes, especially if you're trying to identify that next star, you might not have that ability. But as you see, he doesn't have that many possessions, but still very good in the pick and roll. Let's go 2021. Yeah, he's good in the pick and roll. Yeah, no matter what you say, yeah, he's actually very good in the pick and roll. I wonder if you would be able to tell that back from his Philly days, though. Let's go this season. He was good, but excellent in isolation for the time he did. 30 possessions he had it, but he probably didn't have it that often. You got someone like Ben on the team. Yeah, he was good in pick and roll, but it seems like he got better with age, and like all players should. Okay, but let's come back. I know we was looking at Rozier, but who do I want to look at? De'Aaron Fox. I want to see. Do I not know how to spell De'Aaron, or does it not spelled like that? Okay, let's do this. Let's just put Fox in here. Oh, they put a space in here. Lord. Okay. All right. In all his possessions, he was good. Okay, so he was good in that. He probably better last year if I had to take a guess. What did he average this year? Like 26? Yeah, 26 and a half. Yeah. A very noticeable trend. Very good in the pick and roll, very good in ISO. Or they're either excellent in one and very good in other, or excellent in both. Yeah, and this is how you start to see trends in these like star type guys. Usually, though, this possession, all possessions, is either very good, and I'm assuming probably the year before. That's Team LeBron hit the wrong one. Let me look at the year before. Yep, the year before it was very good. Play types, pick and roll ball handler, excellent. Isolation, very good. So you start to notice things about these star guys. Let's actually, before we do that, let's look early in his career. Let's look 27, 2018, which is crazy because he's below average in, no, he's actually very good in ISO, but below average in pick and roll. So I want to know if the year after, and what we're going to do, we're going to go find Tyrese Halliburton again. And actually, we're going to do a compare. We're going to do a comparison with Tyrese because I want to see Tyrese's earliest years in Sacramento to see because it was always a conversation of who should they have kept. Okay, so in isolation, Tyrese was not good, but he was very good at the pick and roll. Let's do it by the years that because it doesn't look like Fox was very good at the pick and roll to start off. But what was it, the 2020, 2021 year when they would have been the same? Okay. So he was very good at the pick and roll at that point, good in isolations. We know Tyrese wasn't good at isolations. All right, but that was his rookie season. Let's not forget that. If we go to this the next year, what is this then? Team Isaiah. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, if we go to the next year with Tyrese, he was good in the pick and roll, but excellent in ISO. Let's go to next year with De'Aaron. That's probably what made it tough when they're looking at this because he's very good and excellent isolation, especially when, and that's probably why they traded him because he was excellent, very good. All right, yeah, that's probably why they got traded. Yeah, I can see that being the reason he got traded. But the crazy thing, as soon as he gets traded, the pick and roll goes to excellent. That half season where he gets traded goes to excellent because now he has the ball in his hand more. Yeah, I think if they would gave him another season, they would have realized it. And I think honestly, I think De'Aaron Fox would have been in the move instead of Tyrese. But that's how it goes sometimes. But I feel like this is a good way to if we see a young player on this list, and like right here. So Jalen Williams, let's take a look. Jalen Williams this season, what do you average? 19 points a game. I love seeing points per possession at excellent. Just because it just means you're a really good offensive player. Yeah, doesn't matter how many possessions you get, you're a really good offensive player. Pick and roll ball handler, he is excellent. Isolation, he's average. So that's what might be the one hiccup on him, as far as being a star, like a star type player. But a very good player, he could. He's already that. But let's look at his rookie year though. Let me see. Oklahoma City. That's Joakim Noah. Yep, let's look at this year. So in his pick and roll, he was good. He was very good in ISO though. Average spot up. But he's still good in the pick and roll. And then this year, it just because I want to say this is just his second year in the league. I don't think he's been in the league 3 years, right? Yeah, he was at Santa Clara. I need to go in and get the college stats too because I might be able to identify somebody before they even get into the league that and just take a look. Take a look at the stats and go from there. But somebody like Jalen Williams, if Oklahoma City's probably never trading him, but that would be somebody to target if I was a team, if I wanted to get a player from OKC. And of course, OKC want picks, but I doubt they give him up because how good he was this year. If I remember, he was pretty solid in the playoffs. Let's look. Let's look at it. He was average in the playoffs. Let's see. Everybody's stats go down in the playoffs though, from everything I see. Because even I want to say Lucas was probably down too. But 18.6 points per game in the playoffs, especially for being a number 2 role, second season in the league, I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, somebody like him is you want to watch next year to see because if it's me, we know OKC they are going to have to pay Shea crazy money. They're going to have to pay Chet. They're going to have to pay him. They already paid Dort. Who else they had? They're not paying Giddy. Yeah, that's what that means. They're not paying Giddy. Because let's go to Giddy real quick. and just to kind of show the difference. So Giddy this year was terrible. Now he had that thing that thing that weighed him down all year. But let's see, play types. Let's go. They even handle the ball as primary. Spots up more than anything, which he was brought in the league as supposed to be a pick and roll ball handler, but he's still good at it. But isolation, he's below average. Let's look at the year before because I know he had a lot on his plate this year, but let's take a look because he's been in the league 3 years. I want to say he should have. Yeah, he does have 3 years worth of film on him. So, but his pick and roll ball handling is still average. His isolation is still average. So he's not really going to be that player. What was his overall? He was still below average. What was his rookie year? Because this might be a telling sign on Giddy. And as somebody trading for Giddy, I wouldn't trade for much now. Because when we look at it, now he has a history. It looks like he was like good in isolation his rookie year, which is crazy. But his pick and roll was still below average. So he's never been. Has he never been good in the pick and roll? Yeah, he's never. No, he's okay. He's been good at the pick and roll this year. But as far as the elite type talent, I want to say he was drafted 7 overall. He'll never. He'll never amount to too much, to be honest with you. So when you even look at trades, and that's how I look if I'm looking for a star player, a role player. Well, the series isn't for role players, so I won't really go on too much because I really haven't dove into what makes a good role player just yet. Well, actually, I do know they're usually good at one particular skill, and especially if you want a shooter, you look at this spot. You could look up this spot up thing, and you'll see very quickly who the good spot up shooters are if you want some good spot up shooting. But yeah, because there's the guy on the Wizards that they need to get off the Wizards because I can't think of his name right now because he is a very man. This is going to get at me. All right, I gotta go to the Wizards team now. All right, let's go to teams. Where are the Wizards at? And the thing is, Wizards don't even really talk about them. But the guy I'm talking about, he is a very Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert is one of those guys when you talk about us an elite skill that he has. So I want to say last year, and I'm gonna check just to make sure. His point per possession rating was excellent, and this is on a very bad team. He was 48% from the field, 37 from three. Okay, let's go to regular season actually. Okay, play type, spot up, very good. 44% when he spots up from the field, almost 40% from three. This is somebody, a role player that you will want on your team that you might have to pay a little bit extra for, but this is somebody who's on a bad team that you want to trade for if they give him up because he can shoot. I'm not sure how good in defense he is, but yeah, I can look, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that good. Yeah, below average. But that's what I'm not. I'm not paying him for defense. I'm paying him for offense. If I want a role player that can shoot the ball, this is who I want. Yeah, because spot up, this is what he does, and he does it well. I want to say, did he do it well his rookie year? He was very good at his rookie year too. So this is somebody, honestly, this is somebody I would be trying to trade for because I know he can shoot. But this series is not meant for that. This is for the star players. Let's go back. All right, so Giddy, we know he's not going to be a star. Jalen Williams, yes. CJ McCollum was on here, but I think with CJ, what his problem was, I looked. He was very good at that. Was he good at the ISO though? That's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, he wasn't good at ISO. That surprised me. Yeah, because I honestly thought he would have been better at ISO. But somebody like him would be good because he's good at pick and roll. He's very excellent at pick and roll actually, and spotting up, he's very good. So that's what I would look for. But I try to look for the trends in the year before too, because good, I don't like that he just drops from good. I like the consistency. Similar to how we look at Kispert, knowing he's a good spot up shooter, very good, excellent, very good. That's kind of what I want to see. And ISO, I didn't realize CJ didn't ISO doesn't ISO that much. Yeah, in the pick and roll, this is what I try to look at, and he's good at. Okay, yeah, very good at ISO here. In Portland, was he not good at ISO though? Excellent pick and roll ball handler, below average. Yeah, because there's only one good. That might be his problem. He need to. Okay, there we go. Oh, I was going to say. Okay, so let's see. Does it continue to be excellent? ISO. I don't know. So he had that good year. What year is this? 2020, 2021. What do you average this year? 23. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. But somebody like CJ, I would probably got after that year, but I guess that's why they tried to make him the lead guard. But didn't really, yeah, didn't really work out. But you already kind of knew what you was getting there. Jalen Williams, Tyrese Maxey is another guy on here, and the other guy that just surprised me was Desmond Bain. To be honest with you, and I know I'm supposed to stop at 10, but I'm gonna stop at these two: Tyrese Maxey and Desmond Bain, just for this first episode. So Tyrese Maxey was very good as points per possession rating. When you look at play types, pick and roll ball handler, excellent. Isolation, average. I did not necessarily care for that, but with this being excellent, I can work with it, especially that he does it 35% of the time, and especially seeing how well he broke out this year. The year before, and this is probably why they traded James Harden, because he was excellent at the pick and roll, and he was getting buckets off of it. And he was excellent in transition and spot up too. And the thing is, he didn't even have the ball that often because he had James Harden that year. So this is probably why they knew he was going to be good. The pick and roll is a very good indicator if you're good, very good at it, that you can be a good playmaker and a good scorer. That's from what I'm seeing. Um, but even when was his rookie year? Was 2021 his rookie year? I thought it was before that, 2020 season. Let's look at this season. So he was even very good here, good and actually good in isolation, which is funny. But he was still very good in the pick and roll. The year after, was he good in the pick and roll this year? Yeah, he's still excellent. See, somebody like this, he was excellent in the pick and roll. Is this 3 years in a row? Yeah, basically 3 years in a row. So that's how that. These are the indicators. That's why somebody like Austin Reeves, I am a little bit higher on because I think he's been excellent, very good the past 2 years, and he doesn't have the ball that often. So somebody like that is a player that I'm going to want on my team. Those are the type of players I want on my team, especially to be my lead guards. Desmond Bain, I'm interested. Okay, the point per possession thing, I like I mentioned earlier, I like good, not very. I like very good and excellent. I don't necessarily care for good, but depending on what the play types are, I work with it. Thing is, I know Desmond Bain doesn't isolate at all, really. Excellent in the pick and roll, surprised me. But for him to be a 20-point scorer, and he probably had to because John was out, makes sense. Yeah, because he averaged 23 this year. Wait, did he? He averaged 23? Wow, yeah, he averaged 23. Okay. The year before, let's look at the year before. He should have had Jaw for a good bit. Averaged 21, but he's still excellent in the pick and roll. That's what I want to know. He was very good in the pick and roll still. Doesn't do it as much, probably because you have Ja Morant. Don't need to do it as much. But in talking about Ja, let's look at Ja real quick. I'm interested to see if he is good in the pick and roll. Let's look at this year because he didn't play really that much that year. Possessions average. Interesting. Play type in the pick and roll is good. Isolation average. Huh. So wait a minute now. Hold up. Let's go to shot types because I want to see where's the dunk at. Below average on this is what I meant earlier. 82% on the dunk. 53% on the layups. Huh. That is interesting. That is interesting because it says he's just good in the pick and roll. All right, hold up. Let's look at possessions. He was good this year. Very good in the pick and roll. Very good in isolation. I would expect that, but that's in limited possessions. Let's go to the year before that then. Very good. Excellent. Okay, that's what I was expecting because I was a little. I was a little confused, to be honest with you, that John Morant wasn't good in the pick and roll. Okay. Yeah, that's more of what I'm expecting. And his rookie year, yeah, I can see average, but he's still good in isolation. So Ja, yeah, somebody like Ja, that's kind of similar to what I'm expecting. I didn't expect this year though. This 2022-2023 year, excuse me, for him just to be good and then average. I was not expecting that. But it seems like he's hovering between good and very good on a pick and roll in isolation. But yeah, because it doesn't look like did he just shoot a ton? What was because the average almost 26. Mm. Yeah, because the turnovers. I'm not turnover percentage. I wonder if that's high. All right, we're gonna have to wrap this episode up. So this is the first series. We're gonna find the next star. Right now, depending on if Austin Reeves stays on the Lakers, it could be if he gets off the Lakers, we could see somebody. Jalen Williams seems like he could be, but I don't think OKC will let him go for anything, especially with him being that young. And they're just going to keep that nucleus with him and Shea together. Desmond Bain was a surprise there, but Desmond Bain we know does not isolate at all. So the elite star potential, he's not going to have it. Um, yeah, let's keep it there because I don't want to. Yeah, CJ, nope. TJ McConnell doesn't isolate that. Or did he isolate? He did, but his point per possession wasn't good. Jalen Brunson, who we started off with, we kind of understood why. Tyrese, DeMar, we know these top guys. Terry Rozier, him being at the top with Charlotte was actually pretty, pretty interesting. Was not expecting that. But I was looking at people that minimum 5 possessions per game. Yeah, we're going to continue this series and just see people who could potentially be the next if we can potentially identify the next star players. I will see you guys next time. Oh, I just realized I got to stop the stream.